Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Al's Vintage Toy Trains. I hope you're having a great week. And so as the holidays approach, I thought I would review Lionel's outfit number 463W, cataloged by Lionel in 1945. So what we're looking at is a reproduction catalog, but it's made by Greenberg's and looks just like the real one. And so Lionel was really promoting their new line for 1945. The big thing and why it was on the front is that they were featuring their new remote control real railroad knuckle couplers with the die-cast trucks and the solid steel wheels. And you can see the blow-ups here depicting as such. And then the big statement, and this is only a preview of what's to follow in 1946. So as we all know, World War II came to an end around August of 1945. And so that left little time for Lionel to produce, catalog, and distribute a train set for 1945. So they were only able to muster one set for that year. And 463W is that set. So the set is headed by a 224, and it is coupled with a 2466W tender, and these are both carryovers. What's really different is the grab bars are blackened now. Got the modern trucks and wheels on the tender. The tender also has the blackened handrails. And then a little different from 1941 or 2 is that the 45 version now has just one drawbar from the engine. And the little hook kind of ties into a hole that's stamped at the bottom of the frame of the tender. And they kind of latch together that way as opposed to having a drawbar from the tender like it was in the pre-war period. So that's a little difference, and I'll show you what that looks like in a moment. New for 1945 was this plastic injected molded gondola, so that was all new, and the only piece that was all new for 45. With it came a set of split barrels. 1945 would be the last year that Lionel would produce these split barrels. This is actually a reproduction set of the barrels. I don't have the real ones, but these are made just like the real ones, so you can actually hide something inside these, close them up, and haul them away on your train. Alright, the automobile car. This is Lionel's 2458, and it is also a pre-war carryover. It's got the double doors that open up, and the new modern trucks and couplers for 1945. Next, we have the 2555 single dome Sunoco tank car. This is also a pre-war carryover. It's got the steel frame. The body actually says 2755, but Lionel cataloged it as the 2555 with the new trucks. And then lastly is the caboose. The caboose is 2457. It is also a carryover from the pre-war period. And what's unique about the caboose is that the catalog indicated that it was a non-premium caboose, so it didn't show that it was illuminated, it didn't show inserts, it didn't show the smokestack that you see here, and you wouldn't have known that it would have come with a rear coupler. But they ended up producing the premium caboose. The very earliest of the production for this set came with brown cabooses, and those are kind of rare to find. Most of these will come with the red caboose that you see here. And let's go ahead and look at a couple of other engines. So I've got another 1945 224 here in tender. The cars on the track do not have the whirly wheels, but this is an early 45 tender, and as you can see the wheels, they have little whirls in them, little lines, and that was very short-lived, so only the earliest of the sets would have come with these whirly wheels, as well as the cars. And a lot of people try to find these early cars with the whirly wheels, but Lionel had several variations of the wheels and axles, so this is the earliest with the whirly wheels and the thick axles. The set I have on the rails has the thick axle, but no whirly wheels. And Lionel also produced a non-whirly wheel with thin axles. So that was just to show you a little difference in the 45 sets. I also have a pre-war 224. You can see the silver handrail. You can also see the 2224W tender, which is basically the same as the modern tender, but with the pre-war trucks on it. And this tender also had a drawbar along with the engine, so the drawbar from the engine would actually lock into the drawbar from the tender. So there's a little more space between the engine and the tender on that one, as opposed to what we have on the postwar, which is a little more realistic looking. All right, let's go back to the catalog briefly. So this is the 45 catalog. And essentially it's an 11 by 17 piece of paper, printed both sides. Everything was printed in black with the red highlights that you see. And printed both sides and then folded in half. So there's the set. Could have bought this set for $33.50. The set erroneously labeled the tender as the 224 coal tender. It was produced as the 2466W. That's how it was stamped. That was actually the pre-war number. And then it came with O-gauge track, circular track, as well as the straight pieces. It also came with a 167 whistle controller because they haven't developed a transformer yet with a whistle controller. That would come a little later with the ZW in 1948. There's the set, and then some of the accessories. So there's a Z, some other accessories that you see here to include the 45N gate man. These are all pre-war carryovers. And it says sensational surprises on the way for 1946. And then the back of the catalog just essentially shows you some track accessories, as well as a couple of lamps and the automatic highway signal. So there's the catalog. You've seen the set. You've seen a couple of the differences. Let's go ahead and put this in operation. And since this has the flying shoes, it will hopefully make it through my switches occasionally, and a lot of operators will know that the flying shoes do not necessarily handle going through the old 22 switches very well. There's the whistle. And as you know, Lionel wouldn't produce the smoke system until 1946. Again, I'm kind of going slow because of the flying shoes, not really liking the switches. So, looks pretty set for 1945. Very happy finding this one in the plain condition that it's in. It would have been nicer if I had the set box and the individual boxes, but I don't. Look at this 1945 set. Some lucky kid was probably very grateful to get this for the Christmas of 1945. And this is Al, and I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll catch y'all later.